What is going on, everyone? My name is Benjamin Nowak, and this is a brand new short video series. We're going to be talking about breaking down new bodies of water. I've gotten a ton of requests on this lately. People want to know how to go out on their home bodies of water or brand new bodies of water and break them down faster and more effectively. So I'm going to share with you guys in 3 videos the baits that I use, where to look on your lake, and then we're actually going to go out and fish a brand new body of water and try to break it down over the next couple of videos. So hopefully that gets you guys as excited as it gets me. Now, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Benjamin Nowak. This channel here is dedicated to helping you guys go out and catch more fish. So we're talking tips, we're talking tricks, we're taking you on the water and showing you guys how to apply this to your style of fishing. In today's video, we're talking about the rods, reels, and baits that I like to use and have confidence with going out to a brand new lake to break it down for the very first time. And that's what this video is really going to be focused on. A lot of people try to go out with brand new lures, brand new techniques, things they've never tried because they think that's what they have to do on a brand new lake to break it down. But the reality is it's all about confidence, it's all about versatility, and it's all about feeling comfortable and finding ways to apply past experiences to brand new lakes. What we're going to talk about is not going to be a secret. It's not going to be a surprise. I don't think this is really going to catch many of you off guard, but we're going to talk about the lures that I use, that I have confidence in to go out to a new lake to be successful. And what I think this really comes down to is breaking down the water column, not only having confidence and having versatility, but also breaking down where these fish might be. And the first thing you have to understand is there are what I would consider 4 different levels of the water column. You have top, you have upper column, middle column, and lower column. And those, to me, are the 4 main general areas or water columns that fish are going to be hanging out in. So we're going to have lures that will approach every single area of the water column to help you guys go out and be successful on these bodies of water. Now, what you're going to want to do is take what I say. You want to take the lures that I talk about and maybe adapt them to your styles of fishing. If you have confidence in a different bottom bait or a different topwater walking bait or a different topwater style bait in general, take it and apply it to this knowledge with that in mind. You're going to want lures that are going to be able to cover all 4 of these depth zones where these bass might be living and hiding with success and with confidence. Because if you go out there with confidence, you go out there with versatility, and you can apply past experiences, it's going to happen a lot more quickly. So the first one we're going to talk about is one of my favorite lures of all time, and that is a jig. This, to me, is a combination bait, and that's the reason that it makes my list. But you can take a jig, a Texas rig soft plastic, some sort of bait that you can flip around, heavy cover, that's going to be semi-weedless, and you can do multiple things with. You can swim it, you can hop it, you can throw it out in deep water, you can do so many different things with the jig or with a Texas rig soft plastic that's going to allow you to be versatile and catch a bunch of fish. This, to me, a jig is a fish catching lure. Now, if you're more confident with the Texas rig, then pick up that. But what I would recommend doing is sticking with something fairly compact, a smaller profile. This is a compact 1/2 ounce jig, a smaller Texas rig plastic. Don't go fish a big 10-inch worm. Don't go fish something kind of ridiculous. Pick up a small or medium-sized creature bait that you have confidence in and go out and be successful. So that is going to be lure number 1. You want something versatile. You want something that is going to catch fish, whether they're in the middle of the column when you're swimming it or flipping it around heavy, shallow cover that is semi-weedless, and a jig for me is going to get the nod. The rod that I'm throwing this on is a TFO Tactical Elite. It is a 7-foot, 5-inch heavy power rod. That's what I have a lot of confidence in with the jig. It allows me to do a bunch of different things with this technique and catch fish. I like a higher speed gear ratio, 7:3-to-1 reel, and 20-pound test fluorocarbon line. Especially when you're fishing new lakes where you don't know water clarity, fluorocarbon is going to be the best all-around go-to. You don't have to worry about visibility, and at the same time, it's going to stand up to heavy cover if that's what you're going to be doing out there on the water. The next technique is going to be a more finesse-style presentation. This is going to be for those bottom living and roaming fish. This is something that I have a lot of confidence in, again, but is also a very versatile technique, and that is drop shotting. Now, drop shotting for me is the equivalent of jig fishing as far as power fishing goes. This is my finesse equivalent to a jig, is drop shotting. Another really good one would be Ned rig fishing, but to me, a Ned rig just doesn't come through cover quite as well. You can't really target fish with it. For me, the confidence is in a drop shot. Now, if we were talking to Alex Rudd, his confidence is in a Ned rig. So go with what you're confident in, but pick some sort of finesse technique on lighter line. This is 10-pound test braided line to 8-pound test fluorocarbon, and go out there and catch fish. A drop shot is a great way to pick fish apart off of cover that you know exists, as well as kind of cover small areas that you know fish should be. So having a drop shot, having some sort of finesse presentation is going to be really key, especially when you're fishing these bodies of water that you have no experience on. The rod that I really recommend for this is a 713 TFO rod. It's a 7-1 medium light that runs closer to a medium. It's a very versatile technique, versatile setup, and overall great combination that I'm going to have rigged up anytime that I'm going to a new lake or new body of water. Next, we're kind of covering that middle to upper part of the water column, and I'm going to be fishing a jerkbait. A jerkbait to me is such a powerful tool because you can trigger reaction strikes, but you can also get fish to bite that are aggressively feeding. And so by having a jerkbait on deck, you can cover a bunch of different aspects of the water column, but you can also cover differences in fish. Having a jerkbait is really critical for me, especially on a new body of water, because I can use it to cover water, but also pick apart areas where I know fish are feeding. A lot of times I'm going to go with more natural bait fish style colors, and then I'm going to adjust based on the water clarity and the conditions that I'm fishing. Bait fish style colors are going to get my go-to anytime there's moderate to clear water and water conditions are what I would consider normal. If the water gets dirty or it's overcast, I might go to a more opaque bait, white sides, more solid body color. And if it's sunny and the water's kind of a little bit off color, I might go to a bait that's a little bit flashier. A bait with chrome on the sides is going to throw light a little bit further into the water column. The rod that I throw this on is a TFO Tactical Elite 7-foot cranking rod. I like the cranking rod because it bends deep in the rod, but this is just a really good approach to get fish that are both reactionary, kind of inactive, as well as feeding fish. I throw it on 10-pound test fluorocarbon line, a high-speed gear ratio. This is an Abu Garcia Revo ALF high-speed gear ratio reel, so that way I can have a faster retrieve on my jerkbait. Another great option if you guys don't have confidence in fishing a jerkbait would be something like a lipless crankbait or a chatterbait. Both of those are baits you can fish in the middle of the column, but they're very versatile. So if you don't want to fish a jerkbait, I would recommend a lipless crankbait or a chatterbait vibrated blading jig, and those are going to catch you fish as well. So far we've covered the bottom of the column, sort of that multi-column with the jig, and the mid to upper column with the jerkbait. Now we're going to talk about everyone's favorite way to catch fish of all time, and that is on topwater. The reason that topwater is so much fun is because it's vicious, it's visual. You can cover both open water as well as shallow cover with this, and at the end of the day, a lot of times you're going to be able to get at least one big bite on topwater. This is a great way to trigger bigger bites, but the reason I like a walking bait is because not only does it fish around open water really well, but I can fish around docks and really pick cover apart with this walking bait. I can also cover water quickly with this. The big key when you're fishing new bodies of water is not to get stuck on one pattern or one thing going on. And so by having a walking bait where I don't have to bloop it and fish it really slow, I can cover water with this very effectively. This is the Berkeley Jaywalker. It's a bigger profile 3-hook bait. It's going to move a lot of water. It's going to create a lot of commotion and draw fish from a long ways away. If you're fishing what you know is a very sloppy or pond style body of water, you might want to switch yourself for a frog with braided line, but I'm fishing treble hook baits anytime that I can get away with it. This is fished on a TFO topwater rod. It is a 6'10" medium fast or moderate fast rod that allows those treble hooks to really set into the fish but not pull them away when a fish bites it, which is critical when you're fishing topwater, but it still handles the bait, walks it, sets the hook really well on those bigger topwater baits. I'm fishing it on monofilament or a copolymer line. This is 15-pound test that helps keep the bait up in the water column on top of the water because it floats. So it's really critical when you're fishing any sort of topwater bait. You don't want a bait or you don't want a line that's going to sink and drive the nose of that bait into the water. Then the reel that I'm throwing it on is a high-speed gear ratio Revo STX. It's a 7:3-1, so I can pick up line quickly when those fish bite it, or I can reel the bait in really quick when I'm seeing fish bust out away from me. It also has a big line capacity, so I can make really long casts with this bait and get this bait away from the boat, which is really key in clearer water or anytime those fish are really finicky. So those really are my go-to baits anytime that I'm fishing a new body of water. Those are the baits that I'm going to have tied on. Those are the baits that I'm going to use and utilize on new bodies of water to really pick things apart. The next video that we're going to talk about is how I would use these baits to pick apart different areas on different styles of bodies of water that you guys will be fishing, including glacial lakes, reservoirs, rivers, and natural lakes. We're going to go through my top 3 locations on all of those styles of bodies of water to hopefully give you guys a starting point on whatever style of body of water that you fish. Those are going to be my top baits. Cover a variety of different water columns with baits you're confident in and baits that are versatile, and you're going to have a lot of success no matter where you go, no matter what new body of water you fish. Those baits are going to get it done. Again, you got the jig, you have the Ned rig or the drop shot, you have the jerk bait, and then you have some sort of top water, which I prefer walking bait, and those are my 4 go-to baits anytime that I'm fishing or breaking down a brand new body of water. If you guys have any questions or comments about any of the products that I talked about in this video, hit me up down in the description or comment section below. But anyways, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy, and I hope you're excited and as excited about this series as I am, because I think there's going to be a lot of great information that's going to help you go out and catch more fish and be more productive anytime you're fishing a brand new body of water. Thanks so much. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below. And as always, take care, tight lines. God bless. Pursue passion.